I'm 37, 2 children, and number 3 on my way, and my current net worth is minus £216,173. The reason I'm sharing this is because it's so easy these where people talk about financial freedom, passive incomes, and how well we're doing in 7-figure portfolios. It's very easy to feel behind. And I know in reality I'm probably not, but I'm sharing this transparently as my starting point, and hopefully we'll see me build and progress as these videos continue to develop. My end goal is I'd love to get to a retirement pot of 1.5 million. So I'm going to be tracking that throughout, and we'll see where we go. Before anyone panics, this hasn't happened overnight. It's been 16 years since leaving university, some poor financial decisions on my part, being made redundant twice, and life happening. I track my finances every month on the 15th of the month. So before payday, but after all the direct debits have gone out. And I track them across 4 main categories: my mortgage, short-term debt, cash, and retirement. One thing I would add, I've obviously owned my house, but I've not included the property value in my calculation because it's not liquid and I need somewhere to live. And I have no intention of selling this house at the moment. Mortgages, the big one. I have just over £300,000 on my mortgage, and this is spread over 4 products through additional borrowing when we moved house and additional borrowing to do some housework. I would not recommend the admin of having 4 different mortgages on different rates. So I've been working hard to try and consolidate them, and as of next month, they'll be on a single rate, 3.8%, 27-year term, and it'll be a lot easier. I cannot tell you the amount of affordability forms I've done over the last 5 years. One of the good things about my fixed rates and how I've had them structured, until November 25, I had the £150,000 on 1.89%, which has been huge. Some of the others were on 6% at one stage. So it's not been very even, but I'm looking forward to simplicity. Maybe it's not the most cost-effective approach, but for me, it removes admin from my life and makes it easy and gives me stability whilst I have a growing family. Another thing I do is I will always round my mortgage up to the nearest £100, just so I'm doing a small overpayment. It's obviously not going to clear it massively faster, but in my head it incrementally pays it off. So previously I've been doing about £70 a month up to the nearest 100, and over sort of a year period, you paid off the best part of 800 quid extra, which isn't huge, but it all counts towards the principal. Short-term debt, this sits just over £28,000. This is a lot more than I'd like. My current cash to debt ratio isn't where I'd like it to be. And the good news is it's all at 0%. I'd like to get as close to 0 as possible, but I do believe some debt is good debt. This is structured over a credit card, which I have a rolling balance on, so a balance transfer at a 0% fee for 12 to 18 months, depending on what's on the market. And this credit card has residual wedding, car, house purchase, commuting costs after I've made redundant, and just general living expenses. It's definitely not a day-to-day spending card, and that balance is slowly coming down, which I'm happy about. I have an Amex card, which I use for commuting, food, and petrol for the house over a month, and I clear that every month purely because I'm a sucker for Avios points and getting that companion voucher. In an ideal world, I'd have my cash and debt about even amounts. So if I did need to clear all my debt instantly, I had the cash available to do it, but I'm not there. Other components of this £28,000 are 0% furniture loans, some buy now, pay later, and some small loans, which I am slowly paying back, but are at 0%. Financially, it's not hurting me at the moment because it's all 0%, but the total amount of debt is higher than I'm comfortable with and is slowly coming down. Cash. So right now I have just over £16,000 in cash, and this is predominantly my emergency fund, and this is spread about £7,000 in a cash ISA, about 6.5 in premium bonds. The rest is in current accounts, paying some interest, which I use for month-to-month living expenses to clear the Amex and survive. In an ideal world, I wouldn't take money out of my ISA or premium bonds. I'd build up this to £20,000, £25,000, just to give me a bit more of a buffer with increasing prices and a growing family, just to give me a bit more breathing space should the worst happen. Retirement, the big one, currently just over £96,000, and this is the group I want to get to 1.5 million before I can become work optional. So first off, I have my lifetime ISA, which I'm no longer contributing to, as I am a high rate taxpayer. This isn't the most efficient account I can use, so we're just going to leave it sitting there until I can access it when I'm older. I've got my stocks and shares ISA, which I contribute to monthly, current workplace pension, which I'll show I contribute to via salary sacrifice, and then I've got my Vanguard SIP, which is essentially old workplace pensions combined. So whilst this feels like a lot of money, it really isn't. There's calculators out there which say I need between £35,000 and £40,000 a year to live the lifestyle I want, which means if I'm lucky, I'd probably survive 2 years currently. That's me. My finances exposed. This is really the starting point. I'm going to be documenting my journey towards that 1.5 million in financial freedom. If you've made it this far, truly thank you. It really means the world to me. So if you've got any questions, comments, or thoughts on what you'd like to hear about my journey, please throw them in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.